and welcome to Parks Bros. It's Drew here, and I'm finally back at Six Flags Magic Mountain checking out 50 years of thrills. So let's go. Today we're gonna be checking out, though, tips during hot days. And my first tip, take the shuttle. If you have a very long walk from the parking lot, make sure to take that shuttle. It saves you time and cools you off a little bit. As we've walked into the park, my next tip, bring your own water. If you can bring like a reusable water bottle, like this, you're golden. Fill that up at, water refill stations or drinking fountains, or even at some of the restaurants you can ask to fill up your water, but definitely bring your own water. A great tip, especially in the hot days. You need that hydration. First stop of the day is gonna be Viper. Super excited to ride this thing. It's been since 2020. I love this Aero multi-inverting coaster. It's insane. We just got off of Viper, heading away from the tips real quick to stay cool. Viper, one of the best rides I've ever had on that thing. It was insane. Like, just non-stop action, super forceful. Jeez. Oh, Viper has moved up quite a bit in my rankings. That was fantastic. Are you a Type A? Or a Type X? That's right, we're riding XTwo, probably the most insane ride in this park after doing Viper, which is arguably top 5 most insane ride in this park. So at least in terms of wait so far, we waited maybe like 2 minutes for Viper, and we're about 10-15 minutes max for X2. Just to let you know, no lockers in use right now. You just put your bags off to the side. All right, I'm going back outside seat, and I'm joined by my good friend Cliff. Analog Thrills, he's going inside seat. It'll be fun. We're gonna lose our minds on this thing. That was one of the best rides I've ever had on X2. Beat me the heck up, but just brought intensity to a whole new level. Woo! Back row outside seat is the way to go for me, at least personally. I know it's a little too intense for a lot of people, but I've been falling in love with this coaster. I'm so glad to get back on it after over a year. So good. But yeah, X2, woo! Brilliant ride. But I do want to go back to my quick hot tips real quick, just because we're standing in the shade right now. Walk this path after Viper and going towards Tatsu. Maybe just chill out here, because there's great shade over here too. Outside of the shade on the trail, I just want to mention the arcade over by Tatsu. You walk into here, it feels like you're walking into a different dimension where California is cold in the summer. It is amazingly air conditioned. Just want to let you guys know, though, while we're walking by Tatsu, Tatsu is not yet reopened. It's been closed for about a month and a half now, hoping it reopens very soon. Next tip, of course, on a hot summer day, Roaring Rapids is a great choice, but just know, with these rapid rides during summer, they get crazy long waits, and you might be waiting over 2 hours for this one especially, because it's just that popular, and it gets you that wet. Well, speaking of water rides, though, another tip I have, ride Jetstream. Gets you a nice, cool, and refreshing ride on a log flume type of attraction. I do want to say, though, West Coast Racers is open today, and they're even filling the indoor queue because a lot of the COVID precautions have kind of gone the wayside. So now the wait goes indoors too, so you get some cool AC too. But of course, that's why I'm not wearing a mask. Didn't need to even make a reservation today, which was really cool. To come into the park at like 3:30 in the afternoon and not have to worry about a reservation at all. It was just a nice change of pace, especially after the past couple of months. I really like that. Another tip I have for these really hot days, especially when the sun is out and proud, make sure to bring like an umbrella or a hat to block the sun. Make your day a little better in terms of shade. Another tip I definitely have, though, is this awesome indoor attraction, Hall of Justice, Justice League Battle for Metropolis. Great ride if you want some awesome AC. And in case you're curious, they are running some of the pre-shows. We didn't see all of it on this round, but maybe we'll see all of the second pre-show. Well, Justice League was quite the adventure. Got top 1% of all time and top riders of the hour for our vehicle, which was really cool. Great job, guys. Team. Next chip I have for hot days, it's over here, right next to Crazy Sanity in the boardwalk section. In the boardwalk games area, they have Mr. Fans, and they are pretty much always running. They are a great way to cool off. All right, well, our next stop is officially Twisted Colossus. Gonna wait probably about the half hour to 45 minutes. Can't wait to get back on this RMC and all of its airtime goodness. As you can tell by my hair, we just rode Twisted Colossus in the very back row. Oh man, great to get back on that ride. I will say though, we waited about an hour and 15 minutes or so. Operations weren't the best, I will say that, but still, so much fun. You know, I've got possibly another cool summer tip. And by cool, I mean literally cool. If you come a little later in the day, the sun's gonna go down earlier, less sun you have to deal with. It was actually not too terrible, even though it was like 95 degrees for our first couple hours. And honestly, right now with how the parks are, kind of understaffed, and there's a lot of people that want to be here, it's kind of harder to not say, you know, be patient. That's the biggest thing when you visit these parks this summer. You gotta be patient with everything. You're gonna wait in long lines for food and rides, so just make sure you plan that. You plan for that. Yeah. Well, besides being patient, of course, being a great tip right now, going back to some of those hot tips, ride the Helpful Honda Express. I probably should have talked about this one earlier because it is at the front entrance of the park pretty much. But this is a little tram trolley, if you will, that takes you all the way up to Samurai Summit at the top of the mountain and is great for those hot summer days. And if you don't want to walk that long way up the mountain, this is the perfect way to get up. But especially if you have like a wheelchair or any access vehicle, this is the perfect way to get up to the top of the mountain or back down, of course, from Samurai Summit, because that walk is pretty long and pretty steep. Also, I'm pretty sure there's some stairs to get up to Samurai Summit, at least going that way. So this is definitely going to be your only choice if you have a vehicle like that or a wheelchair or something of that sort. All right, time to board the bus and head back home. But before I go, I have one final tip for a hot day. Specifically at Six Flags Magic Mountain. If you are a pass holder, of course, and you're really feeling too hot, and maybe you have a pair of swim trunks, you can head to Hurricane Harbor real quick, cool off in one of the lazy rivers or one of the slides. I think that's a cool idea. I definitely want to try that one of these days. I still haven't even been in Hurricane Harbor, so I gotta change that this summer. All right, that'll end our kind of quicker visit, like 4.5, 5 hours at Six Flags Magic Mountain. Honestly, much better day than I was expecting. I was expecting a lot of crowds, a lot of heat, but I used a lot of those tips and it helped out quite a lot. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you can use some of the tips I gave you about, you know, staying cool in this crazy summer heat. And of course, thank you all so much for watching. If you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe and we'll see you on the next ride.